KnifeDope. More dope. Come and get your fix. What's up, fuckers? Your boy is back with a fresh batch of dope. KnifeDope. That's right, people. The hits don't stop. Got a rare treat for you loyal viewers today. Little bit of budget dope is now here at KnifeDope Studios. Courtesy of my new sugar mama, Mrs. Doris from CJRB. You see, Mrs. Doris actually reached out to me, I'd say sometime in the last 2 weeks, and graciously invited me to review one of CJRB's newest budget offerings. And so without further ado, let's get to the dope. Now, if you followed my journey, which started way back in 2022, you'll know that at one time, I loved me some good budget knives. Case in point, one of the best ever. I would even say this is in the Budget Hall of Fame. This is the Kaiser Mini Roach. The one you see here in front of you is actually the most expensive mini roach known to man, as I have had custom scales made for this knife, courtesy of Carbonize. I had these carbon fiber twill scales and matching backspacer made at my request. The scales cost about twice as much as the goddamn knife, but that's okay, for I love this thing. Matte Degnan design, deep hollow grind, super slicey hoe, fantastic ergos, flipper tab which is removable. Mine is riding on skiffs. Hands down one of my longest tenured budget knives in the collection. But since then, I've kind of fallen out of favor with budget knives. I don't like them. But there are a few here and there that pop up that actually, draw my interest. So let's see what this one's all about. First, I want to give her thanks once again for considering me to check this out. This one was given to me for free, but that will not affect my review in the slightest, because you know I'll never shit you. This is called the Shale. These come in at $49, so straight budget rail material. And I tell you, CJRB has started to master that whole price point. What they're giving us for that price point is kind of hard to beat. You've got other companies, who try to do the same. You've got Miguron, Kaiser. The newest company would be Ironfly, otherwise known as Kunwu. And, the list goes on and on. But I really think CJRB is, like I said, mastered it. Case in point is going to be this new offering, the Shale. Several different variations to choose from as far as colorways goes. The one I'm showing y'all today has got this blue and orange G10. We've got a nice checkered texture milling there in the center of of both sides of the scale. Single form of deployment, which is a nice robust set of tits. Let's check it out. Woo! Detent is dialed the fuck in. Now, when it comes to crossbar locks, I either hate them or love to hate them. Haven't quite figured it out. But the key to me when it comes to these crossbar locks is the actual spring tension. A couple of years ago, Kaiser gave us the clutch lock. And up until recently, they have been the best. But companies have started to gain ground. On this Shale, for instance, I don't believe it's got any adjustments. And it doesn't. But the spring tension they've got on here is fantastic. Absolutely perfect. We've got a great size as far as overall length. We've got 7.3 inches. Of that, 3.1 is in what they call this recurve drop point apparatus, utilizing their proprietary steel, which is the ARRPM9, PVD black coated. We've got 110,000 blade stock thickness, very thin behind the edge, full flat grind. Add all that up and what do we got? She's a slicey hoe. Flow through construction. We've got full length stainless liners. And even though that's the case, weight comes in at 2.8 ounces. This is also riding on cage ceramic bearings, so the action's buttery smooth. Truly deep carry, reversible tip-up pocket clip, which is not inset but has recessed hardware. I'm digging it, man. I really am. You know, I actually got a lot of respect for CJRB, specifically for the way they handled the whole AARPM 9 debacle back in the beginning of June, end of May. It was brought to people's attention that the steel is actually not a powdered steel. And the way they handled it, you know, they took it on the chin, took it as a learning experience, and owned up to it. And so that spoke a lot to me as to the integrity of the brand. These are manufactured in China, so keep that in mind if that's an issue for you. For me, at this price point, I could really care less. Ergos feel good. I got no hot spots because of that pocket clip. Solid offering. I think this is going to cut exceptionally well. It's got the blade geometry for it, and I've never had any issues with the AARPM 9. I think not considering 14C, this has got to be the best budget steel you could get. I think they're probably neck and neck. Perhaps I'm 14C'd out a little bit, so maybe it feels good for me to have a little bit of the AARPM 9 in the collection. Let's go ahead and put some knives up for some size comparison. Basically, a little bit of knife flexing. You know how the fuck we do. Gotta roll with America first, and we're gonna roll like this. Hogue Deca, version 2. Don't get it fucked up. How about the Kaiser? Escort to be exact. Very similar profile to the shell. Let's do a couple more, shall we? How about the best budget knife I've gotten in 2 years, which was brought to us by Vostede, and that is going to be the Raccoon Top Liner Lock. Then we've got one which also I loved quite a bit, coming from QSP, and that is the Canary Liner Lock rendition. So here we see the shale up against those. Let's do 2 more. God damn it, 2 more. Another fantastic knife this year that was in the budget realm, coming from Vostede once again, is the Acorn. Absolutely love that one. And then another budget knife which really did not impress is going to be coming to us from Ironfly, and that is the YOLO. So there you see the shale up against those. Now, I don't know what's been happening to me. Slowly but surely, I have really started to fucking like these goddamn crossbar locks. I can't explain it to you. I despised them, and now I'm starting to actually enjoy them. I think perhaps for me, what it is just the ability to, you know, deploy the knife, cut what you're cutting, and then close it back up. That's just, for me, it's just a big thing I tend to gravitate to. And I would have never thought that. I really didn't. But hey, you know, this journey, you change along the way. You start to find things that you like, and then things you didn't like, you start to find that you do like. And with companies, you know, giving us the most for our dollar here in the budget realm, now's a good time to be in it, you know, because there's a lot of y'all out there who still partake in these budget knives. I don't necessarily, but occasionally I find one that impresses, and that's the case with this shale. But more importantly, I want to know what you fuckers think. Is your boy shilling? How you feel about this shale? Tell me all about it. Love you, mean it. Until the next time. Cut something. Cut someone. Just don't cut yourself. Stay dangerous, fuckers.